anyway, we have been called the bumblebees of rock and roll for years now. And we're kind of used to that, aren't we, Oz?
Yeah, well, my wife calls me Bumblebee.
Once in a while, so I'm used to it. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shouldn't mind it.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When you started out, there wasn't that many Christian bands. In fact, you guys were in, like, you know, the Sunset Strip and all the metal bands in that time. How did you decide to just make your lyrics about God and everything, and then you got signed on the major label? I mean, nowadays that's, you know, heard of, but back then that.
Yeah. Well, there's a few points to that. We all kind of grew up in Christian homes. And then fell away, you know, walked away from church and whatnot. And then when we came together as a band, that's when we rededicated our lives. And at that point in time, that's when the lyrics were rewritten. Okay. But when we signed with Enigma Records, they didn't know about the Christian lyrics. They just went on the sound and the look, and they really, were very interested in the sound and the look of the band. And they found out when we submitted the lyrics for the artwork later, they read them and they found out, whoa, what's this, you know? And they were taken aback, which is kind of crazy and hard to believe, but that's the truth. That's what I was told by Wes, one of the owners of the label. So they didn't know. And I think there was a little discouragement at that time, but I think they were nervous. They were nervous about the fact that we were such a bold band, lyrically speaking. They didn't know that until after the fact, until after we signed an agreement. And I think they thought maybe they might have some trouble with that. And lo and behold, it was, thankfully, God stepped in and just took control, and the band did, things that were unheard of. When we released the record, it just kind of exploded on the scene, and we were selling out places. And then at that point in time, they didn't really care if we had Christian lyrics or not. You know? They were smiling. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. I don't know if it did.